Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. Hope that you all are well. I think this is the first live show for the new year. I've done shows before, probably lots of shorts and short bits here and there, but I'm going to do one complete show to give reactions to everything that's happened over the last week or so. So let's start with the BWATSI and AZEEZ fight. The fight didn't go as I thought it would go. Congratulations to Joshua BWATSI, British Commonwealth. Is he European champion as well now? So congratulations to him for winning that bout. I was surprised at how AZEEZ. I expect him to put more pressure on BWATSI. I wouldn't expect him to throw more body shots, and then in the later rounds, say 7, 8, get on top of BWATSI, and really take control of the fight. Because I looked at the Craig Richards fight and I thought, well, if AZEEZ gets himself into those positions against BWATSI, he could capitalize more because that's more of his style, to get inside and rough him up. I was from round 3, round 4, AZEEZ looked to me like he was blowing out his ass. He literally looked as if he had been struggling to make the weight, and he had that look about him that it was just grit and determination that got him through those 12 rounds. And those body shots that BWATSI was landing was having an effect on AZEEZ. Yeah, I like the way BWATSI boxed, but once again, he showed himself vulnerable to the right hand over the top. But good. I like this way he worked behind the jab, put nice, vicious punches together. I guess it was the offensive style of BWATSI, or the viciousness and the power and the punches, that kind of deterred AZEEZ from going into all-out war. He must have thought, you know what, I'm getting it with some big shots there. I've been buzzed by a couple of these shots. I'm not going to come in the same way. Although it was a very interesting fight. That fight really reminded me of Lennox Lewis and Gary Mason. That fight where the guy who went to the Olympics was fighting the guy who did well in the amateurs. And it was like the night of crowning Lennox Lewis in Britain. And it kind of felt that same sort of intensity, that same sort of mood. I mean, Royal Albert Hall when Gary Mason fought Lennox Lewis. And it was, you know, there was real bitter rivalry. That was for the British on Commonwealth. I think it was British Commonwealth and European, was it? I think no. Mason was British champion, and Lennox was European champion. I think he beat Jean Chanet, the guy that beat Derek Williams twice. So yeah, and I remember that fight. Lennox was like 14 or 15-0. Gary Mason was like 34-0 or 35-0. But it was like that sort of fight. It had that sort of intensity, that sort of British title. That it really meant something. And that's how that fight felt. So it was a great fight. I really enjoyed that fight. That was when I want to watch boxing, a fight. That's what I want to see when I see boxing, you know. And I really liked it. For AZEEZ, you know, what he needs to do is be able to put his punches together better and be able to fight at the next level, which means he's got to be able to throw bunches in get his punches together. When he gets people against ropes, really launch vicious attacks against them, because that's what his style is about. He was nice. I did like it. AZEEZ's jab. He was beating BWATSI to the jab a lot of the times. It was very nice, rocking BWATSI's head back with a jab. But I'd like to see a little bit more intensity, up the ante, and a bit more intensity. But you know, when you do that, you leave yourself open to getting caught with shots and vulnerable to get yourself knocked out. So, and with so much pride in the line, you don't really want to get knocked out. I didn't think much of the slips. I didn't think it was knocked out. They weren't knockdowns to me, but that to me also confirmed the exhaustion of AZEEZ. So I think from about round 4 or 5, AZEEZ was just on pure heart and determination. I don't know if he got a rib busted or something, but he looked exhausted. If you go back and look at after the third, fourth round, look at Azeez, the way he's going back to the corner. He's blowing out his ass. So well done, BWTM. I actually thought that Azeez had your number, but you know, I think I was also surprised at, again, the lack of punching power from Azeez. I knew Azeez wasn't a one-punch knockout artist, but I thought he would be able to significantly hurt BWTM. He didn't. And again, that goes back to making me think that was he struggling at the weight? I don't know. I don't know how he made the weight, and I'm not making excuses for Dan Azeez. There's his business to get himself in the condition necessary for the fight. And of course, if it was caused by body shots by BWTM, then he invested well. Good attacks, used his jab well, moved circle ring right, and through combinations to be not only offensive, you know, to set up shots, but also was defensive. So when he was landing those punches, he was keeping Azeez off of him. So yeah, but a real good back and forth fight. Enjoyed it. The slips ruined the fight for me though, which were considered knockdowns by the referee. Dan Azeez needed pushing back. BWTM Azeez, no smart pressure. Yeah, that's very good point, Michael. Hello, B. Yeah, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you as well, Lev. Good to see you as well. Good to see you. So yeah, so that's my thoughts. BWTM versus Yard. Now again, I don't know where people get this story that Yard is world class, because he hasn't actually beaten anybody that's world class. He's been beaten every time he's fought somebody of world class. I'm not knocking Anthony Yard here. I'm just saying, like, every time he's fought at world level, he's come up short. In fact, if you go back and look at the fight with him and Beterbiev or Beterbiev, however you want to pronounce it, if you go back and look at that fight again, he was really getting beat up in there. If you go back and look at it, when you watch the fight first time around, you're like, oh yeah, Yard belongs at this level. You go back again, and from around the second round, Beterbiev is landing shots on Yard and rocking him. And, you know, Yard had moments in the fight. But having moments in the fight doesn't make you world class. So I'm not sure about Yard being world class. I'd like to see Yard fight at European level. I'd like to see if he can win a European title. I still don't know how good he is. The BWTM fight will tell us a lot. But I think he's got the right hand there to give BWTM problems. The problem with Yard is, though, can he finish off a world-class fighter, or at least a European-style fighter? Because he might land that shot on BWTM, but can he finish BWTM off? Whereas I know if BWTM hurts Yard, he'll take his chances because he's vicious like that. That's the only thing, because Yard has the right hand to give BWTM problems. The problem is Yard now has got knocked out twice now at world level. He was getting beat up by Beterbiev in that fight. So all that defensive stuff he was doing against the ropes, he's getting beaten up against the ropes as well. So I don't know if that style of Yard's is good enough, or against these guys, these guys like Beterbiev and or Bivol or Sergey Kovalev, those guys at that level have got a great amateur background and good boxing fundamentals. That's the thing, that you look at all those guys you're looking at there in that elite level, Bivol, Kovalev, Beterbiev, they've all got boxing fundamentals, like secure boxing. It's got a jab, right hand, left hook, know how to put punches together, distance, timing, when to land shots, when to engage. And Yard has moments, but because of his inexperience, he's not able to capitalize in certain situations. Is my concern there. Okay, Shook One says, Azeez versus BWTM was a good fight. McGirt was advised Azeez wisely, but he could not, because the pace and mental pressure took a lot out of him. Yeah, I said that, but I also think that he was having problems with the weight. Could be wrong there, but it seemed to me that he was struggling, as if somebody who's weight drained, you know, after 3-4 rounds of blowing at the arse and haven't made the weight right. Or maybe he overtrained. Good evening to you, Ingram. Looking in good health, Trooper. Glad to see you back. I'm around. I've been doing the short videos, though. as I've said about Yard, he has been moved along far too quickly, and he's settled into this pattern of training and fighting that would be next impossible to remove. Yep, agreed there. And will BWTM stay stationary long enough for Yard to give Yard the chance to plant his feet and throw those shots needed to beat him? Yeah, that's it. It's that right hand. That's the only thing I see there giving Yard any chance in that fight against BWTM. I've been sourcing it to get the amateur rumble between Kovalev and Beterbiev that is supposed to have taken place in I don't know where the way is. Yatusk. I'm not talking about Teofimo Lopez at the moment, but that's nice to know. Who Yard best win? Continue to take him to the world title? Not with this current crop of fighters at the moment. I'm not so sure. Right, so that's my thoughts. BWTM, he should fight Yard next. But you know, I'd like to see a better fight. BWTM versus Callum Smith. I think that's a good fight. Smith gets a chance to get back into world contention. I think Smith would have been a better fight for Smith would have been against Bivol than against Beterbiev. So Smith versus BWTM, I'd like to see that fight. If they can make that fight happen, that'd be good. And then I'd like to see Yard versus Dan AZEEZ. I think Yard AZEEZ is a better fight. And I think BWTM should fight Callum Smith. Smith is he's fought at world level. He has been a champion at super middleweight. So you can't knock that. So I think that would be a good fight for BWTM to gauge where he's at. And for Yard, I think Dan AZEEZ is a good fight for Yard. Of course, they've been gym mates. I mean, they've been in the same gym together, so they kind of know one another. I think it'd be a good fight. Good evening, Anthony. Hope that you're well. What think at Stamina for Sale boxing channel? I don't really watch it much because I don't really watch a lot of boxing channels, to be honest. But they're doing their thing, and credit to them. BWTM vs. Callum Smith is a good fight, and he can use his range and say what he can do. Yeah, I do think that's a good fight as well. I'd rather see that than Yard. How far can Ben Whittaker go? We'll talk about him next. Dan AZEEZ versus Yard. Who win, people? Don't know. Good fight. AZEEZ versus Yard be good. I can see Dan as the more very tactical stuff. I think that's a better fight to see. Callum Johnson versus Yard. Jesus. Woo! That's a firefight. Yard, I don't trust Callum Johnson's chin, but I love his punching power. Rumors are saying that Yard versus Smith on that 5v5 matchroom versus Queensbury show. Smith should beat Yard. Smith has got a jab, long, educated, good jab, throws punches good to the body. That's a good fight. I'm taking Smith for that one. I think Smith is good. Smith has got an annoying habit. I don't know why he does it. He just sits on the ropes, sits himself against the ropes and tries to counter that left hook. And I think there's a certain level that works. But when you're fighting against the elite guys, they're not giving you that chance for that left hook like that. They're just going to pummel you on the ropes, which you saw with Beterbiev. I'm starting to think that Yard is the best of the British 175 boxers. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure. I don't know. Can Yard beat Dan AZEEZ? I'm not so sure. It's a good fight. Yard is a bull in a china shop. Well, he is, but okay. If Yard doesn't knock you out, if Yard can't knock you out, can you see him outboxing for 12 rounds at that level? I don't see it. Yard's got to knock you out. And I still question his stamina over 12 rounds as well. Yard pummels Smith. I don't know, I don't know. Yard struggles with a guy who's got a good jab, and Smith has got an excellent jab. He's got good range, and he punches good at light heavy. Don't look at that Beterbiev fight because Beterbiev is a beast. I think that Smith will do well against Yard. Body shots, jab, the right hand, and Yard doesn't fight at a hectic pace. Yard's a man will stand there and look at you, and while he's standing there and look at you, bang, that jab is in his face, bang, and Yard used to set himself. He used to set his feet to throw them shots. And he's stationary there. Smith has got that jab pumping in his face. Don't know. Has he overcome the Kovalev jab? I don't know. And I think the Smith brothers have a habit of throwing out a lazy jab and delaying, bringing it back. I don't know if it's a training thing or just a personality trait. Might be a training thing. All right, let's move on to the next subject. Ben Whittaker. Now, I don't know if it's me, yeah? I don't know if it's me. When I used to see Carl Frampton, I used to see Chris Algieri. I don't know why. Now, when I look at, every time I see Ben Whittaker, I'm seeing Andre Ward. Just the looks, the facial expression sometimes. I mean, I say, is that Andre Ward? No, it's Ben Whittaker. Ben Whittaker, in my opinion, is outstanding talent. He's doing what he's meant to do at that level with that level of opposition. He's doing it. And you saw what Nazim was doing. He was banging guys out, right? And Nazim didn't have, as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't no great amateur, never went to the Olympics, yeah? And Ben Whittaker's style is one that is unorthodox. And at that level, he's banging guys out and he's looking great. The question is, can he do it British, European, at world level? If he can do that stuff at world level, then great. But if that style he's got there and he can't adapt, like if that's all he can do, like literally do all the showboating, great. When he fights a guy in front of him that is nailing with a double jab and then cracking him with a good right hand, and he can take that, then fine. If he can make adjustments, if he's able to make adjustments at the highest level, I think he's going to be one of the best fighters we've got coming out of Britain. But I'm just concerned that elite level doing that stuff, I just wonder if two things. He needs to pass two tests for me. Test number one is get hit by a big puncher and come through it. One. And two, be able to outbox a very good boxer with good fundamentals. If he can do those two things for me, like he can come through the chin and heart test and he can outbox a quality operator, I think we've got a superstar on our hands, literally. But if he does what he's doing there against an elite fighter, and I think it's going to be an elite fighter that's giving problems, if he does it against elite fighters and he's got nothing else to give, and that's all he can do, that showboating and that's all he can give, and there's nothing else he can do, he's going to have a problem. It's just if he can, and usually guys can raise themselves to the next level. So I'm gonna hedge my bets on Ben Whittaker being something a bit special. I'm not gonna say Prince Naseem Hamed. I'm not gonna go down them roads. Ben Whittaker. I'm not gonna say, yeah, he's the next Prince Naseem Hamed. He's got personality, he showboats, he's a character, and we need it in boxing because there's too many boring people in boxing. He's entertaining. Would I go home to watch Ben Whittaker fight? Hell yeah. Would I pay to go and watch Ben Whittaker fight? Hell yeah. Would I also have my heart in my mouth watching Ben Whittaker fight? Hell yeah. Because you know what? I'm thinking one of these days, this guy's going to get clipped. And if he gets clipped, and I've paid to watch him fight, and he gets clipped, and his legs do a little dance, and he falls down, and he don't get up, that's the day people will come out and say, well, we told you so. But I like it. But I don't want, I wanted to see him step up. I don't want to see him fighting guys every week, like doing this stuff against guys he can do it to. I do want to see him fight. I'm not saying tomorrow put in the world title fight because Sky love to do that rubbish. But I do want to see him do it against somebody that I know that I can say, right, yeah, he's fought, he's done this, he's done this. Yeah, he's a veteran. Like that. Like, if he could do it against that guy that what's his name? The last guy BWATSI fought and he couldn't stop him. That guy, if he could do it against him, and he can put on a dazzling performance against something like that level, yeah. I actually think, looking at Ben Whittaker, I actually think Ben Whittaker's career is gonna move faster than Joshua BUATSI's career, funnily enough. But let's wait and see. I know that Ben Whittaker will be a controversial character. I get it. I understand. But, you know, I like Ben Whittaker. He's exciting. Ben Whittaker, the next Prince Naseem Hamed, please, hype job season. No, I don't think it's a hype job. I don't think it's a hype job. You have to, if your eye, open your eye and see, right? The guy has got talent. He's got skill. Let's allow the guy to breathe. Don't put Naseem Hamed on him. I mean, does everyone have to stand up and box like this to, I mean, no. I mean, Emmanuel Augustus, the drunken master, he used to fight like this, throw punches. People would sit down and watch him fight because he was entertaining. And I want to see entertaining fighters, all right? We can't all be Floyd Mayweather, right? You know, so I want to see that. I want to see the entertainment. You know, the uppercut he threw when he did that and he threw the uppercut, bam, I was like, wow, I like that. I like that stuff. When Golovkin was coming through the ranks and Golovkin was throwing that chopping overhand right, people were excited about it. I like Ben Whittaker. That's me. Good to be back in your live. Ken! Long time, bro. Hope you're well. Ben Whittaker has a lot of potential. Please, British promoters, move him along at a reasonable level. Don't rush the recipe for the love of God. Agree with you there. My sentiments exactly. Please don't worry too much about my cough. In Africa, we have something called Amatang. Something I've kind of got used to. Well, I haven't got used to it. It's a very dusty time, a bit colder. A little dust comes through and the air conditioner, a little dust is come around. So I've got a bit of a cough, but it's caused by the dust. Apologies. Ben Whittaker will get knocked out if he does this stuff at top level. But then again, after Bivol and Beterbiev, who is really left to stop him? Everyone is getting old. The new gen coming up. Yeah, exactly. There is that thing that he may get knocked out. But there's also that thing that if they overreach, they'll get knocked out. So Whittaker is one of them. Look at Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns had a tremendous right hand. But you know, if you got hit in the chops, there was a problem. There'd be a problem. The little legs of Hearns will go. So, you know, I think we sometimes we can be really critical of boxers and very hard on them. Let's enjoy what we do have. You enjoy the journey. I think he holds his chin out there in the air too much for me. Yeah, he does. He does. But wait, the Prince did that as well. There's a few fighters that did that. I remember the Prince Naseem when he fought Kevin Kelly and his chin was up in the air in the first round. He got cracked with a right hand or left hook coming in. So, yeah, the vulnerabilities are there, but those vulnerabilities make it even more exciting. Amir Khan. Let's talk about Amir Khan. All them flashy hands and all that stuff. Remember when he got cracked in the chin, what happened? That was his kryptonite. I hope that Ben Whittaker's got a better chin than Amir Khan. But if he doesn't, well, we'll have some exciting nights anyway. I see the potential in Whittaker, but I worry about him being moved too quickly and being made into a Josh Kelly. Damn shame what happened to that boy. Yeah, that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see that. But Whittaker seems to punch harder than Josh Kelly. Like, he seems like he can really crack. I think that you're right. He's doing the showboating stuff against average opposition. Yeah, he is. He is, and it looks great. But if he can do it against top-class opposition, remember, he's fighting Boom Boom Johnson, Hamed. And they were saying, oh, yeah, Boom Boom Johnson, this is tonight. And Hamed took Johnson apart. And one of the fights I'll always remember, Jose Bedillo, Naseem Hamed, when he was dancing and he was showboating and he couldn't knock the guy out. So he had to showboat and do all this sort of stuff to draw the guy on to land big shots. So it is what it is with that one. The jury's still out for me. Well, yeah, listen, this guy, Whittaker's one of them guys who could go out there and win a world title and the jury would still be out on him because he does that sort of stuff that's not conventional boxing. If you're one of them guys who just like conventional boxing, the jury will always be out on Whittaker. Do you understand? But I'm going to give him, what's the word? I'm going to show some interest in him. And I haven't been too bad in the past in terms of the guys I've picked in terms of interest. But I like what I see from Whittaker. I like what I see. Ben Whittaker against Smith next. The American one, not Callum, would be a decent test. Then someone like Marcus Brown. Oh, wow. Smith. Ooh. Don't know. Smith is durable. Marcus Brown, durable. They're tough guys. Whittaker versus Jean Pascal. That would be a good fight. Jean Pascal, a great fight, in fact. Pascal's seen better days. He's teak tough, you know, and he has only fight one way of fighting. He can get very reckless, but it's a good fight. Jean Pascal. Whittaker boxer reminds me of Drunken Master Augustus. That's what I'm saying, yeah. He's nowhere near championship level yet. Yeah, he has to get experience. I agree. Whittaker should be a Sky Sports pay-per-view attraction for years to come. Him and Adam Azim. Adam Azim, I'm not so sure of. I'm more sold on Whittaker than I am of Azim. Adam Azim. Not sure. Azim, to me, in my opinion, I don't think. Good kid, you know, he's doing his things, but to me, nah. Adam Azim seems the one of them dudes, yeah, that you're watching on a Saturday night and he's busy doing what he's doing and clonk gets hit and gets knocked out or against the ropes. Like he's one of them kind of dudes. I've seen many of them dudes like Adam Azim. They're doing all something, bam, and it gets caught with one. And the legs go, and then before you know it, you don't know nothing more about Adam Azim. He's one of them kind of guys, one of them dudes. That's what I see of Adam Azim. I really do. I don't think he's world class. Yeah, European. No, not me. Ben Whittaker. I got more faith in Ben Whittaker than Adam Azim. Let's wait and see. But so far, Azim looks okay. But I just don't have the faith in Adam Azim that I do in Ben Whittaker. Right now, Whittaker is doing good stuff against Ronnie, Bobby, Doug, and Mike. But can he maintain that against top dudes? That's the question. Well, yeah, that's the question. But isn't it a journey you want to follow to see if he can do that? It's like, it's following the journey. Can he become a world champion? Like, you think about all the fighters that BWTM have covered over the years. Like, you remember the batch I had? Crawford, Thurman, Stavern, Jennings, who else? Ennis, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, Bivol. Who else? You name all those guys I've named there. All them guys there have either gone on to be undisputed or world champions or unified or two-weight champions. I mean, it's not a bad pick. Mr. Bay needs to show heart like Nazim, Kevin Kelly, then talking, bro. Yep, I did mention that. It's all about entertainment at the end of the day. Yep, that's what I'm looking at. Putting bums in seats and entertaining, but entertaining not like Misfits. Although there have been a couple of fights of Misfits I've got to say I've enjoyed. Why Augustus wasn't world champion? The quality of fighters that were around, unfortunately. Yeah, man, it's been hard since my dad died, so you haven't been online. Good to be back and catch you. Plus, Ultratech has been messaging you, emailing you for weeks to do a live with you. Has he? I haven't got an email from Ultratech. You keep saying this, but I've had no email. If I had, I would do a live. Miss Ultratech, by the way. I've got a few weeks now where I'm free, so that'd be good. The Motor City Cobra had many great attributes. Only weakness was the chin. Yeah, that's it. What do you mean about? What do you think of Hamza Shiraz? Hamza Shiraz, his career reminds me of Ricky Hatton. The way Warren has managed Shiraz. He has managed him well. And he's got, for me, Shiraz has got the right experiences at the right times. So let's see how he does against Williams. I like him. Let's see what he does against Williams. Amir Khan was able to master chin with hand-spin reflexes. Hopefully, Ben Whittaker does not have an Achilles chin. Yeah. Well, no, if he does, it's going to be exciting. Because remember, even Hamed went down in his career. Sky Sports new pay-per-view star. Rush season, Mr. Ben Uncle. Oh, no. Is Pascal still fighting? Well, he was meant to fight. Who was he meant to fight? He was meant to fight BUATSI, and BWATSI pulled out of that fight against Pascal. You remember? I think Gafai hits championship potential before Adam Azim. Just my opinion. Yeah, Gafai is good. I've met him, actually. I interviewed him as well. Good fighter. I'm not sold at Adam Azim. He's a ticket seller. He's European level at best. He's an undercard boxer who elevated to main level because he sells tickets. Yep, I think that's exactly my thoughts there on him. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that's what it is. I actually thought the Ukrainian beat Azim. Azim does not have the power to clean guys out. I agree with you. He will get cleaned out once he's in there with a live guy. That's it. You can see. I can see it on a Saturday night. He's boxing, doing all stuff you know he does, and then pow! Good night. And then you'll be saying, we're watching the return of Adam Azim. Now 20-1. The former European champion tries to restore his credibility to get back onto the world scene. That's the sort of thing I expect to see from Adam Azim, the script. Azim has the words match with care against his name. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see who falls apart quicker, Whittaker or Azim. Maybe both go on to do great things, or maybe both crumble at top level. We're here for the journey. I think BWTM Sports needs to follow that journey. If Whittaker takes Pascal and beats him, I have to put him ahead of WHITTAKER. He will surpass him. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect comparison with Shiraz and Hatton. Shiraz carefully matched and made to look better than as his skill set. Yeah, that's it. Madden Smith. Oh my word, what has happened? AZEEZ is falling apart in front of my very eyes. Oh, Smith is the guy with the commentary. He is. Right, so I've done Azim. I wasn't meant to talk about him, but I did. Talked about Ben Whittaker. Talked about BWATSI and AZEEZ. Now, the next man up that's going to get it, unfortunately, CONOR BENN. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, CONOR BENN's career is over. Listen to me. Boxing does this one thing. Remember what I said. Boxers fight in patterns, 1, and 2. If you cannot adapt, if you cannot make changes, you become one-dimensional. CONOR BENN has shown the way how to beat his ass. Since CONOR BENN has fought 2 fights in light middleweight, he has looked unimpressive. He has not looked like a guy who's got the punching power to move up to middleweight and fight Chris Eubank Jr. Let's get that one out of the way. He looks one-dimensional. He's always looking for the one punch. I don't think he takes the best punch in the world. And he seems sheepish when guys throw punches back at him. To me, when I say a guy's career is finished, it's like the best way to describe it is if my house had no roof, I wouldn't know where the ceiling was. CONOR BENN has shown you his ceiling already. And in the eyes of Terence Crawford's trainer, he said he looked trash. So now you got Tank that says he wants to fight Ben in England. Tank will move up to welterweight and fight Ben. So what? You're going to pull Ben down from 154 pounds now and bring him, I think they say he was weighing 170 pounds on a night, and bring him down back to welterweight to fight Tank. Listen to me. I don't know what they're trying to do with Ben's career. I don't know what they're doing in that boy's career. It seems to me, no disrespect, I like the guy in terms I've met him, and he's a really humble dude outside the ring. The stuff about the drug stuff, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I keep on saying it. When he went down, his whole team should have gone down. Because when he went down, his team went down, then whoever did what they did would have been would have been sorted. I think when a fighter goes down, the team needs to go down. The next thing, I also think that they seem to want to match Ben with Eubank to make the money. I don't know if they're trying to get money back from Ben, like they've made an investment in Ben, so they're trying to keep him out. And who's ever matchmaking Ben is putting him in fights that are not doing him any good. Like, they're not fights that make him look good. They're not fights that make him look terrifying. They're fights that are exposing him. The fight he had against that Mexican or whatever he fought, that guy looked like he was close to beating Ben. And then Ben's come back again and fought again. And you can't tell me it's ring rust. It's just not that good. Just be honest, it's just not that good. And when you fight like that, people are watching you. And every time you expose yourself like that, people are like, so this is what you're about. This is how you throw your punches. This is how you get clipped. So somebody's watching all this stuff, tape of you. So at light middleweight, he's not looked impressive. So I don't know where they talk about him moving up to middleweight. If you're not punching with any authority at light middleweight, and the punches he's throwing are because he's coming up with speed from welterweight, that's what's catching him, guys. It's the speed of punch that's catching these guys by surprise. Not really the power of the punch. It's the speed of the punch. And those dudes he's fought, they're dudes that you need to be putting away, to be honest. And like, if that's Ben and he's going around, and at that fight, he was weighing 170 pounds and he couldn't put them dudes away. Sorry, my friend, you're going to have a problem against the top light middleweights in the world. I don't even talk about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Come on, bro. Don't even talk about Keith Thurman. I'm sorry. I mean, you can have it and you can say what you like, but you'll get hurt. Because when I start seeing punches being thrown back at you and your body language going back to the corner, to me, no. You are not like your dad. No. There's a difference. Nigel Benn was a destructive puncher. Nigel Benn he put everything into them shots. Like, his son is more of a boxer. Like, Nigel Benn didn't know how to throw a jab. That was the joke about Ben. He didn't know how to throw a jab. It was hooks and uppercuts. Ben Jr. is more of a boxer, more use the jab and stand there, and Nigel will just lay on you. And he had the power to carry that. Like, from middleweight up to super middleweight, he could still punch and crack and knock guys out. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think that Conor's got that. Plus the amateur experience with Ben fought I think he fought in the army and stuff. And yeah, so Nigel Benn was a different breed. Conor's not at that level. And I don't like the way they've managed Conor. And I really think he is in big trouble because his mouth is really talking about wanting to fight Boots Ennis, and he wants to fight. I mean, guy is not in fought for a British title. I mean, let's remember this is the guy that was getting dropped by Paynoy. I mean, yeah, and even in the rematch, he didn't look that great. So I don't know if, and I'm not throwing any accusations there. I'm not, he doesn't look the same fighter that he was before the whole, that was going on. I don't know if it's coincidental or not, but he doesn't seem the same fighter. Is it because he stepped up in level and it's coincident, and that's the reason why, or is there something more to look at? I don't know. But he doesn't have the same, like when he was fighting guys like Algieri, he doesn't have that same pizzazz to me. I'd love to hear what people think on this one. Conor Benn is a different guy. Last two fights of the peasant isn't punching nowhere near the same, says Kenny. Ben cannot fight at 154. There you go. Yeah, but he can fight at 160. And Matchroom have the ways of skipping reality. He can't knock anyone out at 154. but it'll go up to 160. And I'd like to see Ben fight Liam Smith, actually. I have 2 observations of Conor Benn. He looks incredibly smaller and does not look like this. He has the same power I've seen before. Don't know why, but that is why exactly what I feel. Kelly against Ben at 154 is a good fight. Kelly beats Ben. Are you saying he's been plateaued? I just think his career is finished. What I mean is career is finished. Unless Ben gets himself, no disrespect to the trainer he's got at the moment, unless Ben gets himself a trainer that can like really redefine his style and give him like put more punches together, or if he's going to be a guy who's going to throw lots of punches, or he's going to be a guy that's going to be a pressure fighter, or because what is Ben? Is he a boxer puncher? Is he a slugger? What is Conor Benn? Does anyone know what Conor Benn is? Because to me, is he a slugger? If he's a slugger, he's not got a big punch. So he's a boxer. He doesn't have a great boxing skill. So, I mean, I'd rather him go with Adam Booth and then just convert that style, what he's got now, to be a sharpshooter. Ben would be a better sharpshooter because he could use speed like how Hay and Groves used to fight, that sort of sharpshooting style, hit your shots and get out. I think that style would shoot Conor Benn. Adam Booth would be a better trainer for Conor Benn than Sims. Just my thoughts. Water, by the way. Yeah, I think Booth, we always talk about Booth, but Booth actually would be a better trainer for Conor. That would be a better style for Conor than the style he's got at the moment, because that style's getting him nowhere anytime soon. When Brian Bomack says you look trash, that's a bad day for you. Bomack doesn't use any that language about any fighter. Yeah, well, the Tank does a demolition job on Conor. It's cash grab, absolutely. Same with Eubank fight. They just want Ben to be on pay-per-view. They rushed Joshua on Sky. But what does Conor Benn do that's pay-per-view? I don't get it. I don't see it. Sorry. My prediction is that they line up a fight with Josh Taylor and they will throw him in with Crawford in 2025. Josh Taylor, Ben. Yeah, I think that fight would ignite real quickly because Josh Taylor is not going to back down from Ben. He's going to have something to say. Ben's going to have something to say, and Josh Taylor wipe the floor with Ben, I think. I like middleweight, though. Light middleweight. Yes, the Ben Eubank fight would be exciting, but I think Eubank would punish him in the mid-portion of the fight. Might stop him in the first couple. Finish Cass was using the same Dr. Usman as Ben. Wonder if he's juiced up against Denzel Bentley. Mr. Usman. I remember that guy. Matchroom will throw him in against Crawford early 2025. Really? I think they're throwing him against Tank before then. Can you imagine what Avanesyan would have done to Conor? Jesus Christ. Matchroom will have to claw back their money by 2025. Okay. And Pistol Pete caught Ben with the same looping stuff that buckled him at least once. There you go. Ben has a better defense than Nigel to me. Yeah, because well, I don't know about that. You can't compare Conor's defense to Nigel's defense. Cross-arm defense Ben used to use. Remember, Ben was getting hit by some real killers. Iran the Blade Barkley, Eubank, Sanderline Williams, Jesus, Gerald McLennan. Come on, bro. I can't even believe you said that. Let me ask you a question. Conor Benn could never go up and fight them guys at middleweight. Oh. So Ben's defense was his punching power. And I remember Ben when he came back after he got beat by Watson and he went to America and he was doing more of that ducking, weaving stuff when he came from America. And I think Ben, the quality of fighters that Ben was fighting when he came back, even when he went to America and he's fighting, he had some vicious fights. Them fights that Ben had in America, Doug DeWitt, them fights Nigel Benn had in America, some of them fights that people didn't see, there were some good fights Ben had in America. Real good learning fights. Good learning fights. Nigel Benn was trying to chop down a trio of concrete beams with those hooks. His jab looked like a hook. Exactly. Ben won titles in the armor all the way up to heavyweight. There you go. Different kind of punching power. Ben's confidence is gone. He seems to have a weight on his shoulders in there for me, and he's going through the emotions. Yeah, that seems it. We know what you're alluding to. Well, trainers would have that will complement Ben, enhance his attributes. McGirt, Freddie Roach, Matt Cunningham. Yep. I think even Derek James. Don't forget Derek James. This is how I know. This is how I know you would be a good trainer. You took the words right out of my mouth. The only style for him is a sharpshooter style, Adam Booth. Yeah, in and out for Ben. In and out. Simple instructions. Get in, do your work, get out. That's it. Get in and out. That's it. Move like David Hay and what's his name? George Groves. That's your best style. And use your speed of your punch and your athleticism to get you in and out. That's how I think Ben should fight. Otherwise, his career is over. It's done. Ben struggles against Catchall, to be honest. Catchall's a good fighter, man. Catchall's a damn good fighter. I always said that Catchall's a damn good fighter. I mean, that Nigel got caught too much for me compared to Conor. Yes, but look at the guys. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Ben got dropped by Payno. Are you comparing Paynoid, like the guy who had 6 fights and 3 defeats, against Gary Logan? Not in Gary Logan. Ben got dropped by Logan. Ben got dropped by Gary Logan. And then he got dropped by, who else did Ben get dropped by? And then Michael Watson as well. The guys that Ben was getting hit by were real world-class fighters, top-class fighters. The guys that Conor Benn's getting hit by, I mean, his dad would have punched through the ropes in the first couple of rounds. Nigel Benn was vicious back in the day. I think Conor has to stay out in America. Forget England right now. There's too much issues here. Where else could Ben fight? Could Ben fight in Spain? Could he fight in Portugal? Which is what the big Dillian White's training out in Portugal, I wonder. Well, no. Chris Eubank said he could sort it. Eubank Sr. said he could sort the situation out. He said he's friends with Robert Smith, and he can sort the situation out with Conor Benn. So there may be a way back for Conor Benn into Britain and boxing. So I think Ben may have to form an alliance with Eubank Sr. I think the way that's going to work, because I know Eddie's not interested in Ben fighting Harlem Eubank, but I think Eubank may say, right, if I get you back your British Boxing Board of Control license, so you're able to box in the UK, you have to fight Harlem Eubank. I think that might be the bargaining tool that Eubank Sr. may use. He may put himself on the line to allow a fight like that to happen. Adam Smith, another Smith. What it is about those guys carrying that name? If Conor fights any UK fighter, they'll lose their license. That is why he's using American at the moment. Yeah, but hold on. Doesn't Tyson Fury not have a... I don't think Tyson Fury's got a British license. They're not going to work with Eubank Sr. No way. If they've got any sense, if they want Ben to fight back in the UK, they're going to have to humble themselves. I'd like to see Ben fight in Saudi Arabia. I wonder if that's possible. Is that possible? Is it possible for Ben to go and fight in Saudi Arabia? Because it seems like they got Frank and Eddie to work together. So is it possible that something could happen out there for Ben? It's all a bluff and bluster from Senior. He can't get Conor's license back. Really? You think so, Anthony? You think so? I don't know. You might know more than I do. I can't argue that point. Okay. So we've done everything else. So let's talk about the big one. Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Now, let me take you all back in time. And on this same channel, do you remember the time when I famously said that David Haye got a cut? And I said that the fight between him and Tyson Fury will never happen. And Adam Booth and Sky Sports were laughing at me. Booth said I was talking crap. And Sky Sports was saying, yes, people are saying that he cut himself with a razor blade. Well, did the fight happen? Was I talking shit? The fight didn't happen. But they went all real quiet on that one. So now, I did a video on Tyson Fury. And the video I did on Tyson Fury is, what happens if Tyson Fury doesn't fight Alexander Usyk? Why is it that half the boxing world didn't think that fight was going to happen? And hey-ho, the fight doesn't happen. Tyson Fury gets a cut. Now, interestingly, Tyson Fury allegedly was in better shape and he seemed to have lost weight for the Usyk fight. I just wonder if two things. First of all, May the 18th is the rescheduled, 17th or 18th is the rescheduled date. Where the hell did they get that from? Where did they get that date from? Is that a medical date, or is that just a date they just pull up, they just brought together because their staging was available? Because how long will it take for that cut to heal, first? Secondly, when is it safe for Tyson to spar again? And thirdly, if that cut reopens in sparring, what the hell is 10 million to Tyson Fury? What is 10 million to Tyson Fury? You tell me. That cut reopening is a strong possibility of that cut reopening. If that cut reopens, because, okay, right now, so the fight's in May, okay? So Tyson Fury's got his cut. So it's the 6th of February today. Got cut, well, I say we're the 4th of February. So it's going to take him 5-6 weeks for that cut to heal. So he's not going to be sparring. So that takes us into what, March? April, May. Well, according to Tyson Fury, remember, he only needs 5 weeks to prepare. In fact, he doesn't need to train to fight Usyk. He can fight him now, according to Tyson Fury. Think what you want of that. I know for one that Alexander Usyk is not Derek Chisora, is not Francis Ngannou. We're saying something else to you as well. Francis Ngannou caused Tyson Fury a lot of technical problems. That's a guy who is a novice in the boxing world. Deontay Wilder isn't a good boxer. He's a great puncher. He gave Tyson Fury fits, dropped him twice, dropped him 4 times in 2 fights for a guy that's meant to be one of the greatest boxers of all time. He got dropped by Steve Cunningham. He got dropped by Nevin Pajcik. He got wobbled by Wallin. He got into a firefight with Wallin. Got into a firefight with Derek Chisora in the first fight. He literally had to use one elbow to push Cunningham's head up and whack him to knock him out. Now, I'm not here slagging off Tyson Fury. But when you're telling me that he's the greatest of all time, and he would have done X, Y, and Z, and Francis Ngannou gave him all them problems, what would a Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson that fought Trevor Berbick, that Mike Tyson, what would Riddick Bowe have done against Tyson Fury? I am, how would he fought against George Foreman? Sonny Liston, forget them guys. How would Tyson Fury even done against Ernie Shavers? Because all these fighters I'm talking about here, if you're going to say Deontay Wilder can't box, and Tyson Fury's getting dropped by a guy who can't box, and then he's getting dropped by a novice, then he's getting dropped by a cruiserweight, and then people say, I don't understand. The same people say Tyson Fury gets dropped by a cruiserweight in Cunningham, and Usyk is a natural heavyweight. He's at 6'3", and he has stopped Daniel Dubois He beat up Johnny Joshua, but there's still fools out there that believe that Usyk is too small for Tyson Fury. I don't know where that script is coming from, but let me tell you now, it's nonsense and rubbish. When a guy is big like Tyson Fury, when you're big like that, there's more of you to hit and less of you to hide. Do you understand something there? So because you're big, like, I swear Tyson's bigger than him, so he should beat him. No, Tyson's got better boxing skills than him. Like, Tyson's got better boxing ability than him. Tyson's got faster hands than Usyk. Tyson's got better footwork than Usyk. Tyson moves around the ring better than Usyk. I'm not hearing any of that. I'm just hearing that Tyson's big. Go and watch Michael Spinks against Jerry Cooney. Go and watch Evander Holyfield against Riddick Bowe. There's boxing history for a reason. This guy, Alexander Usyk, was able to rock, hurt, and put Anthony Joshua on his back heels and drop Dubois. And Usyk has got gears. You watch Usyk carefully. You look at the way Usyk was punching Dubois before he got dropped, and then watch Usyk when he got up and he went and finished Dubois off. Two different styles of punching. Like Usyk went down, he got up and said, right, now you're getting it. That punching power he's got right there. If Tyson Fury thinks that Usyk can't hurt him, think again. Cunningham put him down. What's his name's rocked him, or Walling rocked him, and this guy in Ghana's rocked him and dropped him. Usyk punches hard enough to stop Tyson Fury. Don't be fooled. And don't listen to the rubbish people say, oh, he's too big. He's there to be hit. And unless he changes his style from the style he's got against Wilder, because that style will not work against Usyk. He'll just be moving around the ring like a mummy. He's got the best thing Tyson Fury can do is get back to the style he did against Klitschko. That's his best chance. His best chance. And I don't even think that's enough. But we'll see. Tyson Fury has proven us wrong in the past. Although I did say he would beat Klitschko. I don't know about this Usyk fight. Let's see what people are saying. Ben could fight KSI. Jesus. John Fury versus Carl Froch at Wembley, apparently. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Really not going to happen. Online beef, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Address the elephant in the room, LOL. With the delays and back and forth, I'm more convinced than ever that Usyk not only beats Fury, but stops him late to the body. I think he stops Fury too. I really do. Fury is killing boxing for the casuals, and the casuals make 99% of the money, in my opinion. Yeah, there's a point there. Even a knockout video of the sparring showed that Fury's leg looked unstable. That was a left hook on the inside. Daryl says, is Ben Whittaker the next Emmanuel Augustus Ingram? I talked about him earlier. In this day and age, and if he's around in 2 years, and who knows? I mean, there might be a vacant title around for him to win. Who knows? But I love him. I believe the cut is real because it's just too deep to take, not like the Hay one. I believe sparring was terrible, and Jay Obter did a number on him, amongst others. I believe he's finished. I'm not too far behind that. I think that Tyson would be rather doing other things than boxing now. That reopens again, mark my words. I think so too. May 18th. How do you know? Greetings, Ingram. Keep spitting facts. Thank you, Eugene. That looked crap against Chisora, worse against Ngannou, and Usyk final nail in the coffin. He's just a light heavyweight. He's nothing. All right, Fury, get in there and fight him. It's a blown up middleweight. Yeah, but hold on. Wasn't it a cruiserweight that dropped your ass against Steve Cunningham and was out boxing you until you had to usually get your forearm and illegally knock him out? I mean, yeah. And he said that Steve Cunningham was the toughest fight of his career. Remember he said that before he fought Deontay Wilder. We need to see if the cut holds up against jumping jacks and shadow boxing, much less sparring. That's a point. Ingram using Tyson's own words against him. Well, yeah, of course. Because anytime I see him, anytime I use Tyson, the words he uses, I always use against him. I do. And he doesn't like it. He does. And the way that Fury has no pep in his step now, he leans into his left, leaves him open to an uppercut from all the smaller fighters that dropped him. There you go. Fury's legs have gone, and he only has one style now fighting since. Since Wilder, he hasn't adjusted and his body won't allow him to. He can only fight one way now. Well, I said, if he fights that way against Wilder, he gets pummeled. Against Usyk with that Wilder style. The last 6 or 7 guy that was champ, Gentleman Jim, did not have a long reign. A 6'3" dude took him down. There you go. I've never been overwhelmed by these super heavyweights. Size doesn't equate to fighting ability. Yep. Ask Makhmudov that question. Makhmudov and Herkovich. Them 2 guys, trust me, both of them guys can go through the exit door tomorrow. Abdusalamov, or whatever his name was, not if that's his name. I told you, was a hype job. You were talking about hype jobs. He was one of the biggest hype jobs, waste of space of boxing. I said it about him. I said it, he was waste, he was useless. Man, the next big thing. And she's got a big head. And I saw how Ajit Kabayal put it on him and put him for the ropes. The next one that needs that is that Herkovich, right? I've got nothing personal against Herkovich, but he's garbage. Herkovich is garbage. If Herkovich was any good, why would you fight Mark Demori? You have the chance to show yourself and you'll showcase your talents. You're fighting Mark Demori. You could have fought Carlos Takam. You could have fought anybody. Like Bacoli, fight somebody. But you're fighting bloody Mark Demori. For that alone, he is not even in my top 10 rankings. Herkovich is overrated. Overrated. What has Herkovich done to get all this hype? If you've got a name like Itch at the end of your name, or you've got some long name that nobody can pronounce, suddenly you're world beater. No. Doesn't work like that. I'm glad USYK is a small name. But it's a small name, but he's big in fighting. These damn long names, Herkovich. I mean, the guy is basic. If you could tell me one thing, one great fight from Herkovich, give me one fight now he's had. And don't talk about the Zhang fight either, because I thought Zhang beat him. Just give me one good Herkovich fight. Go ahead and tell me. And don't tell me about the Deontay Wilder sparring session, because according to most of you, Deontay Wilder can't box. So what are you proving against a guy who cannot box? Against a guy, let's be honest, that came into boxing to look after his daughter. And it's done a brilliant job at that. 10 defenses of the WBC championship. And he's made a ton of money. And he's been able to look after his daughter. So for me, was his sister or his daughter, one or the other? For me, that is a champion right there. So Wilder never has to fight again. He didn't even have to come back against Parker. He never has to fight again. Ali, Usyk, Ezra Charles, Archie Moore, all around 6'3", 225 at the most, and they all beat up all the bigger guys. Yep, that's around the right size. Remember Uncle Bashir told me 6'3" is the right size for heavyweight. Anything over that is where you start to have problems with the chin. I mean, Bo was exceptional. I mean, I just wish Bo had some discipline about him. Bo would have cleaned up this era of heavyweight boxing. I think so. Usyk accepts 70-30 to fight in April 2023. Fury drags at negotiation. No fight. December postpones. Fury postpones February. Fury postpones May. Fury's cut reopens. And Usyk moves on and fights probably Herkovich for the title. Nazim Richardson, when he asks by Tyson Fury to give him credit for his abilities, you're very, very big. That's it. It's true. Unless Fury comes in lighter, he'll absolutely get smoked. But here's another thing. Fury coming in lighter. Remember when he came in light against Otto Wallin? Was it Otto Wallin? No, Otto Wallin. And John Fury said, he's light. He's too light. It's too light. You need to come in and be bigger, stronger. So if he loses that weight, is he going to have the same strength, durability? And when he gets knocked down, will he be able to get up? But I don't know. If coming in lighter takes something away at Tyson Fury at 35 years old, I don't know if losing weight's a great thing. And the Fury needed to beat Usyk. The one versus Klitschko, the one versus Wilder in the first fight is a long, long gone. Yep, I believe so. I vision Fury to be stopped just like Ruiz did Joshua. Similar amount of knockdowns and stopped on his feet. Fury under Peter Fury is the Fury that he needs to be for this fight, not the bulldozer type Fury that Sugar Hill wants him to be. Has Sugar Hill destroyed Tyson Fury? Is Sugar Hill the trainer out there, or is Tyson Fury the trainer? That's the question. Also, a little dodgy with the video. Who is recording on such bad quality? We have smartphones these days. A little weird. Was a little weird indeed. 2015 Fury fought Klitschko, but he failed a drug test for steroids earlier the same year. Never looked as good as he did in that fight. We forgot about that, didn't we? What with this Eastern European love fetish? Makhmudov hype, LOL. Hergovic is slightly better, though. I give him that. A little better for what has he done? What, beating Martin Mori? Again, give me the fight that he looked great in. Hergovic robbed Zhang when they fought. That's some joke thing. There you go. I'm telling you. Zhang and Caballero top 5 for me. Yeah, definitely. I thought Dempsey McKean looked decent in there with Hergovic because he got stopped. McKean has limited boxing experience. He took up boxing late, yeah. Before he got stopped, yeah. Who the hell is Dempsey McKean though? Let's be honest. Vitaly had a chin and he's about 6'3" too. Most guys over 6'6" just lack the coordination in the ring. LOL, crazy to think that Jayapate could dominate these lot heavyweights for years to come once Usyk retires. Now, think about this. David Hayes said the reason why he had the advantage was because of the speed moving up from like light heavyweight, cruiserweight to heavyweight. It's the speed, and those guys are much slower. So he sees the punches coming, so he's able to slip inside a jab and bang, 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 do the work. That's why Hay was so good against that giant. But when Hay fights guys like a lot smaller, like guys like, see, he struggled against John Ruiz. I like that fight, but he struggled against John Ruiz. John Ruiz was there for a while. John Ruiz was good. I remember the Hay fight. It was a good fight. Hay dropped Ruiz early, but Ruiz came back at him at the fight. It was a good fight. John Ruiz. There's some fights I would love to see Hay fight. I would love to see Hay versus Michael Moorer. I would love to see that fight. I was going to stick money on Caballero to Makhmudov when you said he would win, but decided against it. It was great because odds were good. I remind to myself, always listen to Ingham. Oh, don't always listen to me. Don't always listen to me. But Makhmudov was there just like Makhmudov was a ticking time bomb. Conor Benn, ticking time bomb. Hergovic, ticking time bomb. There's certain fighters that are ticking time bombs. You just know they're there to get beat. Makhmudov disappointed me. I thought the hype was going to be real for him, but it seemed like a rubbish version of Valiev. That's what I said. Hay had so much potential, but he sparred like he was fighting under lights, so he left a lot of his best in the gym. That's a shame. One other thing I want to close us out on. It's been an hour, and I've really loved it with you guys. One final thing. If I hear one more fighter that says, I needed a warm-up, I was rusty, I should have had a tune-up fight. If I hear one more fighter that says that, I've been out a year, I've been out 2 years, that is not my problem. You are a professional fighter. You have a manager. Take a fight behind closed doors. What is wrong with you? You're earning millions and millions. So when people say, oh yeah, it's the best fighting the best, just remember, it's the best fighting the best, but he's been out for a year. Always remember, he's been out for a year. He's been out for 2 years. He's been inactive. That's the new trend in boxing, to be inactive, to be you're out of the ring for a long time. That, for me, is unprofessional. Take lower cuts to get fights. Even if you're fighting Joe down the road, I don't care. Fight 3, 4, 5 times a year. Get yourself matched up. least you can practice some things, work on some things. There were times a guy used to fight 4 or 5 times a year. You'd see the guy on a regular. Hughie Fury was fighting every month when he was trying to climb the rankings. So I want to see more of that. I want to see these upcoming fighters fighting regular, 5, 6 times a year. I want to see you fighting. I don't care if you're fighting small hall shows. I don't care if you're fighting in your backyard. I just need to see you fighting, because the more matches you have, or the more activity you have, match activity you have, the sharper skills you have. And the sharper you are, the better you can do with yourself in the ring when you have those big fights. That's my thoughts, because I think you're robbing the fans. The names on paper look great. And it's no point of saying, well, A will fight B, and this is side A and side B. And side B, who's a top fighter, has been out the ring for a long time, i.e. Errol Spence, Crawford. Spence had been out the ring for a long time, car crash, all the rest of it. Wasn't the same Spence. So it always detract from what Terence Crawford did. If Spence had been in the ring and he'd fought more regularly, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's those things I don't want to hear in boxing this year anymore. It's too much of it. Interested in your thoughts on Joe Pitaya. Can he do heavyweight? I believe so. 2 years time. A lot of this crop will be gone and go, old and gone. Yeah, I think he's a serious guy. Serious dude. But I don't want to say this. I really don't want to say this. I love that dude. I just hope to God that he's clean. I'm not suggesting he isn't, but I hope to God that he is, because he's an exciting fighter. And he's a no-nonsense type of guy. And you know how politics can be. I hope the dude is clean. I'll leave it right there. I'm not suggesting he's not clean. I just hope he's clean and stays clean. That's all I'm saying about that dude. I love that dude. Much love to you, Ingram. At this point, with all the Saudi money, this may be the temptation you need to come back. Get your boots ready, sir. I think the Saudis may be onto something. I think if they do things the right way, they have a great opportunity to clean up boxing. And I will say again, the Floyd Mayweather era is over. The unbeaten record era is over. Because as long as that's the money's in Saudi, the best will fight the best. And padded records won't last in Saudi. If you want a job in Saudi, be a DJ out there, because it's the best going to fight the best. Kell Brook to return in a big fight. Another cash grab. Eubank. You can see Conor Benn fighting Brook. Maybe in Saudi. I guess when I beat Spence, that'll be another nobody. I'll be, according to you guys, Terence Crawford. Yeah, that's it. I'm worried that if Usyk wins and AJ wins, we're going to see a third fight between Usyk and AJ. Nobody wants to see a third fight. Usyk will murk him again. Probably. Beterbiev, Bivol, June 1st. Thoughts? Bivol is the best light heavyweight in the world. I've said it a long time. I've always said Bivol's the best light heavyweight in the world. Now we're going to see it. I just don't think Bivol get hits with those shots that Beterbiev's been hitting guys with. I don't think he gets hit with them shots. And I think Beterbiev is going to get hit with shots that he doesn't normally get hit with. He's got the footwork to be in and out, catch shots on his arms and gloves. Bivol beats him. Zhang Parker outcome. I believe Parker's in a bit of renaissance. I think Parker's got a fight similar to how he fought against Deontay Wilder. I think he's got to work the body against Zhang and move the ring, and got to make Zhang use those feet. He's got to make Zhang use those feet, and he's got to be moving in and out to the sides. Work the body, get close, get up close to Zhang, work the body, get out, slip to the sides. Lateral movement, work the body, bam, bam, in and out, like the sort of David Haye style, like when David Haye fought Valuev. You know, he's got to be in and out against Zhang will have slower hands and slower feet. So you've got to use that. And I think he's got to go and say, right, We might be down in this fight 6 rounds. But what we've got to do is the second half of this fight is where we've got to take over, step up, and look to stop Zhang in rounds 9, 10, 11, 12. The championship rounds is where Parker's got to stop Zhang. That's where Parker's got to. But if Parker holds his feet for too long or tires against the old man Zhang, you will get Zhanged out for sure. Turkey O'Shea said the favourite boxers coming back were Larry Holmes and Roberto Duran. I knew that boxing was back, but it was the money behind it now. Yeah, because he's a guy who's got sense. He's got more sense than Hearn. He knows boxing. Hearn don't know boxing. This guy knows boxing. Wow, some great positivity about Saudi. Yeah, well, you've got to be, because that's where the big fights are happening. Thoughts on Inoue? I really like him. It's a shame his weight class didn't get the attention he deserves. Yeah, that guy's a beast. That guy is something. I guess the only time people will really know Inoue if he tries to do the impossible and move up to weight class that he's not expected to. But with a guy like that, anything's possible. Great fighter. I don't believe Parker has the power to stop Zhang. It would be a points job. No, I think he's got the power to stop Zhang. He's got the power to stop Zhang, but stop Zhang out of tiredness. And he's been exhausted in the past, but his trainer is very good. So they'll look to try and, you see, you remember the Joyce fights made Zhang look really good because Joyce has got no defense and he walks in straight lines. Andy Lee's a great tactician, so they won't allow Zhang to do what he's doing there. And if I'm Parker, because I've got the faster hands, I bang with Zhang. You got a choice. You bang with Zhang. So when Zhang is about to throw his punch, you got to slip inside and throw your punch. Just like how when Wilder was throwing his shots, Parker, you do two things. Side to side, or you bang with Zhang. If you bang with Zhang, it means you've got the faster hands. So you'll beat Zhang to the punch. So you don't just throw the jab, you double up your jab. The left hook, right hand combination. It's a southpaw, right? So the best way to beat a southpaw is back them up. Back them up, and then when they're on the ropes, you beat them up because it's no southpaw orthodox there. They're on the ropes. So if I'm Parker, I will bang with Zhang. I will trust my hand speed and combination punching, and I'll say, well, if Zhang is gonna let his shots go, I'm gonna trust my speed and reflexes to slip inside, slip the shot, and bang straight through the middle. That's what I look to do against Zhang because I've got faster hands. And do my work on the inside and get away, like how Hay fought Valuev, like that. But Zhang is a good boxer. He's got better boxing fundamentals than Valuev. But I just think Parker's got the faster hands and faster feet. So he can do that and make Zhang look very, very ordinary. Usyk or Zhang, who'd win? Usyk. Usyk, footwork, movement, in and out. Zhang's a big puncher. But remember, he's very slow. And Usyk's an Olympian too. So you have to look at that. Joe bang everything Parker. Yeah, that's it. If he gets caught, it's over. Joyce stopped him. Imagine what Zhang could do. Yeah, but you've got to remember, Parker was too heavy for that fight. He came in too heavy against Joyce. And styles make fights. I don't think that can happen again. It didn't happen against Wilder, did it? And I told you, Parker would beat Wilder because of the inactivity and Malik Scott. And they're damn smart not to have taken a fight against this dude, Zhang, because Zhang would have finished Wilder off. Zhang would have finished Wilder off because Zhang would have backed Wilder up with his chin up in the air and the left hand straight for the middle. Ingram, have you seen Osman, the expert, is back? He's currently in Fury and Parker's camp. Well, yeah, Joseph Parker, the Renaissance man. I love Joseph Parker. I've met him before. Great guy. I don't want to speculate. But Joseph Parker's a great guy. That's all I know. But it does. There is an expression they say. A friend used to tell me, stay away from evil, even the appearance of evil. Usman and Parker and Tyson Fury don't look the appearance of evil. You know, Tyson's track history in the past, the ban, it doesn't look great, does it? Let's just hope that it's Zhang going to put Parker in his place. I don't be too sure of that. You said that Wilder was going to put Parker in his place and he didn't. Maybe the Parker-Wilder fight is deceiving us because Wilder's completely done and he wasn't the same. If he does the same against Zhang, I know he's really back. Yeah, but Zhang, again, it's an illusion. Zhang is a big puncher, but he's slow of feet and slow of hand. And he lacks, his stamina is a problem. Go back to look at his stamina is still an issue. Go back and look at the Hrgovic fight. And he's not any younger, so his stamina is not going to get any better. And I think that Parker's more of an athlete than Hrgovic. So, in theory, Parker should do better than Hrgovic did. And he shouldn't get caught with that left hand. He shouldn't. He shouldn't get caught with the left hand or the right hand. He should see that punch coming a mile off. If you can see Wilder's punches coming, you should see that dude's punches coming. In fact, I think that fight was good preparation for Parker. Yeah, all those things you said about Wilder, I would agree with as well. But, you know, having that amount of time outside the ring, being inactive, having Malik Scott as your trainer, and also on top of things, the fact that he was using substance abuse, you know, he was smoking stuff that was making him high and relaxing him. I think that has more or less finished Wilder off for me. But I still rate him as a champion and as a man outside the ring and what he's done for his family. He should get out of boxing and never come back. Never. I don't want to see Wilder versus Joshua now. I don't. Unless Wilder gets like 3-4 fights and he shows that he's anywhere near the championship form he had before, he needs to retire. Because guys like that, when their reflexes go, they're only coming back to get knocked out. That's it. Andy Lee will drill hit home to Parker to be always aware of the left hand. Yep. And the right hook. Don't forget the right hook. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of my show. Please, please, please get across to my channel. BWTM Gaming. Online gaming. Get across there and check out my, I'm doing if you like FIFA, I'm doing a career mode there. And I'm there every day uploading new content. Division 1 now with Sutton United. So, yeah. All right. Time to go. Let me just put it out there for you. Actually, let me see if I can find the channel for you so you can all subscribe to it. I do need some subscriptions on that channel. Let me get the channel for you. Can I pull this up quickly? Yeah, there we go. Get that for you. Just get across there for me quickly. And just get across. Smash the subscribe button there. Let's put that up on the screen as well. It's there. Just get across there. Congratulations to League 2, by the way. BWTM all the way. Haha. I catch them when I can. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've signed a guy called Burstow, a striker. Signed Brewster. Pyjet got sold. It just got sold. And I brought in Dominguez. And I'm doing the team under 25s team. So, yeah. If you go live now, join for a gaming session, says Kenny. Put your mic through, not just gameplay. All right, I'm going to start doing that again. All right, I got to go now because I'm pretty late. Thank you so much. It is now 11:31 in Nigeria. I do miss the UK. I don't miss the cold, but I do miss the UK a hell of a lot. The amenities like having 24-hour light and all those good things I miss a lot. So we'll see. Right. I'll catch you all soon. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Get across there. Just smash the subscribe button. Just go across. Click. Go across. Just smash subscribe for me. Please help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Again, I'm out. Take care. Thank you for watching. This has been BWTM Sports. It's good to have you on.